Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Dog Classroom podcast. My name's Amelia, and I'm here with special guest Kady.
Hey, everyone.
And
Gus.
This is Gus. So because we had Kady in the studio, we decided that it might be fun to do like a little, not like a case study, but like a discussion of all of the training and all of the things that you've sort of gone through with Gus, because it's been an adventure.
It has been a journey.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just kind of jump right into it. Why don't you tell me a little bit about Gus right now?
So Gus is he's almost 6. He's gonna be 6 in January. So he's like a 5.5, 6-year-old sheepadoodle. I got him locally in town. So he's from Renee.
And what's a sheepadoodle for people who maybe don't know?
Okay, that's a good question. So a sheepadoodle, so in Gus's case, his mom was a Old English sheepdog and his dad was a poodle.
Okay.
And so you mix them together, and he's a sheepadoodle.
Yeah.
So he doesn't shed, which is lovely. That's nice. Our other dog at home, so one of the main reasons that I really wanted a non-shedding dog was because our other dog at home, who the sweet old lady Juno, is the hairiest dog you've ever seen in your whole entire life.
And she's white.
And she's white, yes. I know, Gus. Sorry, buddy.
Gus has some thoughts about this.
He's like, you need to keep feeding me if you want me to lay here. So yeah, she's a white husky, and she's the sweetest lady in the whole world, but the amount of hair that comes off of her, I don't know how she still has hair on her body.
Oh yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah, and so love her dearly, but I was like, I cannot have another one of those in the house. Otherwise, I'll have to give up my job and just vacuum full time. So I was actually in Lutsen with a couple friends of mine for a bachelorette party, and there was a lady there who had a sheepadoodle puppy. And it was from somewhere in the States. This was, in 2019. And I was just like, oh my God, they're so cute.
Yeah.
And then I was fully planning on trying to find, she told me the name of the breeder. It was somewhere in Minneapolis. And I was fully prepared to go down to the States and get one. And then I found out that there's someone locally who breeds sheepadoodles. So I was like, all right. So we checked it out. And then the timing just worked out really great. And so he was born on January 6th of 2020. And then we brought him home on February 28th. And then 2 weeks later,
and then the world stopped.
The whole world shut down. So I didn't get the chance to do anything with him. We basically brought him home and then got locked in our houses for the next year.
Okay. I'm going to backtrack just for 2 seconds here, because yes, he's cute and everything, but was it just the non-shedding that was interesting to you?
So that was one of them, but also, that's a good question. So the non-shedding was a pretty high factor. But I also, poodles are very smart, and so are sheepdogs. And I wanted a dog that I could hike with, a dog that I could walk with, a dog that I could work with. And I'd never done agility before. We'll talk about his agility a little bit later. But I'm pretty active. We go to camp, and I wanted a bigger dog, one that I could take hiking with me, and that I didn't have to be concerned I was going to get taken by a coyote.
I feel that concern, yeah.
Right? Nuggie has I know she's got her little spiky jacket, because those are real things, especially living in Northwestern Ontario.
Yeah, most people don't get a Chihuahua as a hiking companion.
Right, because,
Well, and he's been good, right? He did, what did you do, a 25 kilometer?
Oh yeah, he's come with me on so many adventures. He's a great little hiking dog. He loves being outside. He's as long as you have some kibble to give me, I will come anywhere with you and do anything you want. And yeah, so last summer, he's actually done it with me twice. So last summer, we go camping at Puckasaw, so just outside Marathon. And there's a hiking trail there. I can't remember the name. It's pronounced, I think it's Madabi Minka. I'm butchering that, and I'm sorry, but
we can Google it.
We can Google it after and put it in the notes.
Yes.
But what it means in Ojibwe is go to the shore, and it's along the coastal hiking trail. So it's right along the shore of Lake Superior, and it's 24 kilometers. And so we start early in the morning. He does the whole thing. I make sure I keep him on leash so that he doesn't run extra.
Yeah.
And then also because I don't want him to bring a bear back.
Valid concern, especially
with
right
him.
now. Yep.
Because he's very interested in other creatures, and I'd rather not meet a bear with him or without him.
Yeah.
So I wanted a dog that I could go hiking with and that I could walk with, and that was a bigger dog and that was going to be able to do those things with me. So those were kind of the main considerations when we were looking for other dogs. And then also our dog Juno, so she's going to be 12. And we were like, it was a good time. Like she was,
like her age wise.
yeah, like her age wise, like she was I think 5 years old when we brought him home. And I was like, I don't want to wait too much longer because I don't want to bring home, like a little rambunctious puppy with like a super senior older dog. And like, she's 11 now. She's kind of starting to have some, joint issues. And it's just because she's getting older.
Yeah.
And, I didn't want to bring a puppy into that because I didn't think that was fair to her. So I was like, well, she's 5 years old. Now's a good time. Is your ear inside out?
I flipped it over, but it keeps flipping it back.
He's like, I would prefer it to be inside out, please, Mom. So those were really the main considerations.
Okay.
So, yeah, we brought him home on February 28th. And I had big plans. Like I had friends that have done the reactive dog program and who'd come to the dog classroom. And I was like, oh, so excited to do puppy classes. And then that didn't happen. So
yeah, that was a time.
Yes, it was.
For puppy socialization in particular.
Yeah, so he's a COVID puppy, and so he never got that socialization. And so he does not like other dogs, especially not when he's on his leash. He does have like some dog friends who he's become friends with over the years. But he definitely does not like dogs on a leash. When he's on a leash, he's like the fun police. He's like, absolutely not.
We've talked about like leash reactivity.
Yeah, and so he's definitely leash reactive. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that like he was never introduced to that in that like socialization period.
Yeah.
Like he never had any of that. And unfortunately, I think there's a lot of dogs that are like that.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have talked about like the increase in certain issues that we've seen with like the COVID puppies, as people call them, because they did miss out on so much of socialization, and what they did get was a little different, was a little weird, right? Like,
yeah, well, and even like when I first started doing classes, we were finally allowed to, be back in real life, like everyone's wearing masks. So that's also super weird for them.
Yeah.
Because, at home, we're just hanging out. He's like, why do you have this thing on your face? Why do you look different?
Yeah, and by that time, if I recall correctly, he was like basically a teenager.
Oh yeah, he was like, because he was born in January, I think by the time we were able to start puppy classes or like, start classes, I think it was like November of 2020. So he was already almost a year old at that point. Like he was already old by puppy standards, right? Like he was so old.
Yeah.
But he was definitely like coming into like his teenage years already. Like he was almost a whole year old. I couldn't get him neutered.
Right,
because
that was
because like all of that stuff was like closed, and so I remember he was very humpy when we first brought him to classes.
I remember this as well. Yeah,
there was, had to keep a good eye on him, or there would have been some really really weird mixed breeds out there. But like I couldn't get him neutered. He couldn't go to classes. Like it was a really weird time to have a dog.
It was, yeah.
And I mean, he's the sweetest dog. She just likes what he likes.
He's a very good boy, yeah. And I think, like, especially with the time that he was a teenager, like we talk about teenage dogs and adolescent dog problems, they were almost like amplified for him because of the time that we were living in. And so I remember, like, everybody talks about like their teenage dog like kind of loses their brain cells a little bit, and they get a little bit silly, and they maybe forget some of their training. And I mean, it must have been very frustrating with that.
It was. It definitely was. But I mean,
how do you go and work on those things when
you can't?
You can't.
So like we do a lot, and a lot of it is, and this is something that like you guys, like you and Anne-Marie, like we've talked about it a bunch of times, but it's like meeting your dog where he's at. And so in terms of like, I know he doesn't love other dogs on a leash. So when I take him for a walk, I'm going to take him at a time where I know there's not that many dogs out on a leash.
Yeah,
like,
well, correct me, he's never done reactive classes, right?
Well, no. So I did the reactive online
class.
Because we couldn't do anything in person.
Yeah, I remember
And
now.
so, but no, he's never actually done like the in-person class. But like I take him out at a time where I know there's not going to be that many other dogs, so that you know, when we see something, you know, we see another dog and like we can work on it, you know, but I know there's one dog on the street rather than like 7 dogs on the street.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're just like, you're making it, like you're saying, like meeting his needs. Like he doesn't want to go out at 5 p.m. when everybody's out
when I come
walking
home
their
from
dogs.
work, I let him out. We usually like, you know, I let him out. He play in the backyard a little bit. I've got some agility equipment at home, so we'll do some jumps. We'll play with weaves. Sometimes I'll just throw a ball, you know, just whatever in the backyard, just kind of because he's been inside all day. We'll get him outside, just, you know, out and about. And then, you know, it's like maybe later in the evening and like after dinner sometime, like that's when I'll take him. Because I know there's going to be less dogs.
Yeah.
There's not no dogs. There's never going to be no dogs, but that's fine.
Well, and he's not like, you know, unmanageable.
No,
like
no, he's definitely manageable, and he's gotten a lot better over the years. Like we've worked on it a lot, and I mean, it's also just like accepting that he's not going to be a fan of dogs.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Like you didn't get him to go to the dog park, right? You're telling us like you wanted to go hiking. You wanted, you know, a dog that could keep up with your active lifestyle and maybe do some agility, and he's doing all of that.
Oh yeah, and like he loves agility, and like he's come so far, and even just in terms of focus, and like even when we started doing agility with him, like we'd be outside in the yard, and if God forbid the puppies were outside walking up the driveway, like he had 0 brain cells left. But now he can be out there, and the puppies are out there, and you know he might look at them, but he's way more focused. He's able to, you know, he still has his brain cells.
Yeah.
He can still listen to me. He can focus. We can run an agility course together, and he's not just like going off like barking at the fence like he used to.
Yeah. Well, and the way that it's set up, like just in case people haven't seen it, is we have one building and then an agility field behind it. And then we have our main building where we do like the puppy classes and beginning with basics and all that stuff. And there's a play yard attached to that. And the play yard and the agility yard share a fence. Like there's a visual barrier. But the agility dogs are very much aware when...
Yeah, they know what's going on. And the puppies know what's
playing.
going on too, right? Like they know that there's other dogs around. But yeah, he never used to be able to focus on any of that stuff. It would just, like he'd be gone. And then I couldn't get him back either. It was now if he's, you know, sometimes he'll, you know, he'll perch up on the top of the A-frame and he's like looking over at them, but he comes back and he's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll pay attention again.
Yeah, well, and he's competed and everything. So why don't we talk a little bit about like your training journey with him and how that has looked? And
yeah, so we started with beginning with basics. Everyone had masks. It was the whole time. And then like we worked our way up. So we did the next step. Branching out. And then I was looking for something to still do with him because I don't think that, you know, I wanted to expose him to other dogs too, because I feel like that's part of working on the, you know,
it's
the
like a muscle. You gotta keep it up.
It's like the reactivity journey, and so I wanted to keep exposing him to other dogs, like in a controlled location, not just like, you know, letting him loose at the dog park where God only knows what happens. And then I always thought that agility looked fun. I was like, it's like a little doggy obstacle course. But I actually had no idea what it actually entailed.
I think that's most of us.
Yeah, so. I had no clue. I had no idea. And then we started doing, you know, like beginner agility with Jody, because that's when Jody was still here.
Love you, Jody.
And shout out to Jody. But we started working with Jody and beginner agility, and then I was like, this is really cool. Like it's a really cool thing to do with your dog, and it's really a fun way to bond with your dog.
Yeah.
And
you get to see in beginner agility specifically, like, because you see the end behavior on TV, and you see the end behavior, which is like the dog's doing these whole courses and like 40 feet away from your handler and doing all these wild things. And then you get to like break that down and actually work through it and train it with your own dog to be like, oh, you can't just like step out there and do that. You have to actually do all of these foundations.
Oh yeah, there's so much training that goes into it. And so it was, and I also think it's good for his brain. Like he's very high energy.
He loves it.
He's like super active, super high energy. And so he needs an outlet for that, which I think is, especially for his brain, I think. Oh, sorry, buddy, I dropped that one.
I think he's one of the only dogs maybe like throughout our classes and stuff too, like He never wants the jump heights lowered.
Oh no,
Like,
he's like, I will jump higher. I will run longer.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, look how long his legs are.
Well, and he's in good shape, right? Like, you do other things with him. It's not like agility is his only exercise. So, like, he's getting out and he's hiking and he's walking and he's doing like some of the canine fitness stuff. And
oh yeah, and he loves all that stuff. And
Yeah.
so I think that's also super important, because if he didn't like it, like, you know, I don't take him for that many walks because he just doesn't love it.
Yeah.
So instead, like, what I'll do, like, we live close to Hillcrest Park, is I'll just get him on his long line and we'll just go like hang out in the field, and I'll like throw a ball around for him. And it's a good way to, like, you know, he gets out and about, but it's also like, you know, you can see when there's going to be another dog coming around.
Yeah.
And then also it's a good way to work on that of, you know, okay, well, we see this other dog coming. I'm going to get my cheese string out. You're going to focus on me. Oh, look at that. You looked at the dog and you didn't bark. Excellent.
yeah, like working on some of those sort of basic skills. The other thing, like, while you're talking about that, I'm thinking, like, you had Juno, who's like this sweet, like, maybe we'll bring Juno on one day, but she's just like a little doll.
She would love to come.
And, you know, you probably weren't expecting to have all of this to think about.
Because Juno was super easy. And so, like, I never, like, my husband had her as a puppy. That was before I came around, but he's like, she was just so easy. Like, she just likes everyone, likes all humans, likes all dogs, does whatever you tell her to do. She's just like the most chill, calm, just, hello.
Yeah. And
Would
do
you
you
like
think
to pet
she's
me?
like husky something?
Yeah, so she came from Cat Lake, so she's definitely husky. I think she's got a little bit of like maybe lab. No one really knows. We call her like the Heinz 57.
She's got like the goldeny, like long.
Yeah, she's like
hair.
long, like white blonde.
Yeah, so just like a mixed breed dog, you know, you never really know what you're getting, but she turned out
lovely,
so good.
lovely.
And you don't have to think about like, okay, am I going to see other dogs
Yeah,
on the
no, when I take
walk?
her out, like you could take her anywhere.
Yeah.
You could take her anywhere and she'd be perfectly fine. But again, like it's also just, again, like meeting your dog where they're at. Like you could take Juno to a patio and she would just like curl up under the table and sit there and she would love it.
Gus
he
wants
would
to
not
work. He's like,
he
why
would
am
not.
I laying here?
Like even now, he's like, right? He's like, what are we doing? Like you better keep paying me because I'm just laying here. What are we doing?
And I mean, he would, like, if you wanted him to do some tricks and some sits and downs and whatever, like he would be so
He's
up
like,
for it.
I'm so into it.
He would do it.
He
and
does love to work.
He's
He
never
loves
been
to
here
work.
before.
Yeah, this is a new space for him. So even like before we started like filming, like I walked him around and we looked at everything. We let him sniff and took him out for a pee break, and you know, like, because you got to also think of them, and it's not just like what do you want to do with your dog, but like what does your dog want to do? And you know, like I've gone for walks with like him and Toffee, and because Toffee's another sweet little girl.
Yeah, we love Toffee.
Yeah, we love her. But right, and it's like, you know, one on like two of them,
Yeah.
and you know, we're gonna go on a walk, and he's
And
gonna
it's someone that respects your space.
yeah, and he's, you know, he's able to do that, and he likes it, and you know, we're going out on an adventure, but it's not like overwhelming for him. It's not taking him to or putting him in situations where he's not going to be successful.
Yeah.
Like you want to set him up for success and put him in situations that he can handle and that he can manage, rather than, you know, putting him in situations that are going to unnecessarily stress him out, that are going, you know, that you just know he's not going to like.
Well, and I think you've also built up such a trust with him because you haven't done that. Like you haven't taken him and been like, no, go do this because I want to do it. So now when you put him in a situation like this, where we're in a studio with like weird cameras and lights everywhere, and like he's just like, okay, I trust.
Yeah,
that
he's like,
this
and
is
he's just like,
okay.
he's even still like, he's just so focused. And
Yeah.
some of it is because I have kibble, and he is also super food motivated, which actually I'll talk about that for a bit. So he's super food motivated. So it's really easy to get him to work because he's like, if you give me a kibble, like this is just his kibble. This is nothing special.
Yeah.
But he would do anything for kibble.
Lots of people
Like,
would love that.
He would
trait
do
in their
anything for
dogs.
kibble. Like, so when I work on like when we're training agility and like we're doing like the difficult things, the things that require more focus.
Well,
like,
and like stand him up for a second. Can we see him? There we go.
Good
No,
boy.
he says I don't
he's
want
like,
to stand
I would
up,
like
I
to
wanna
bow. Okay, here.
But
there
like
you go.
he's in shape, right? Like it's not
Hi,
like
buddy.
he's just sitting there eating all these treats and
No.
doing nothing.
Okay, can you
like,
sit?
He's
Good boy.
he's an active dog, so like this works for him. and he'll just keep working because he loves it.
Yeah, give me both. There you go. Sit pretty. Good job, buddy.
Very nice.
Okay, can you
I
spin?
was saying we should have brought some
Can
equipment.
you spin? I know, we'll do that again. We'll do it next time. We'll do a little agility Gus episode.
Yes.
Good spin, buddy. Good. Give me your paw. Nice boy.
Yeah, and like even this, like the trick training and stuff, like it keeps his brain going, and you can see his tail wagging, and you can like.
Yeah, he's
you
got
can
like the
tell
nice
how
loose
into it
body
he is.
language, and he's just like, what are we doing? Bow? There you go. Good job, buddy. He's like, I'm just gonna stick my butt in the camera. Good boy.
Yeah, you do amazing. But like with his training, that's probably been really helpful that he will work for.
Oh yeah, like he'll work for kibble. He will do anything for kibble.
But he does love his cheese.
He
and
does love
agility.
his cheese. But yeah, like I give him, or like when I take him for walks and I know we're gonna be potentially seeing other dogs, like I'm gonna have a cheese string with me so
Yeah.
that I know that he knows I have it, and he always knows when I have a cheese string, but so that he knows that I have that. And then, you know, when we're walking down the street, I'm like, oh, there's another dog coming. I was like, okay, we're not gonna just keep paying you with kibble. You're gonna get something better.
Yeah, and then that also sort of creates good associations. Like
Yeah.
even though he's 6 or 5 or 6, and he's
Because it's
kind of set in, we know he doesn't want dog friends. We can still work on creating good associations. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that dog's passing by. Great, here's some cheese.
yeah, you don't have to be friends with him,
Yeah.
but maybe we're not gonna bark in his face.
Exactly.
Right? Maybe
And-
you just look at me and I'll give you some cheese. Maybe we're not going to scream at him. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, and he just kind of goes with it, and like that's working his brain too, because he's just having a
Yeah,
good
but it's
time
like
with it.
you're gonna get paid something better because I know this is hard for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
rather
so you're like
than-
increasing.
Yeah,
the
it's like
value.
increasing the value because I'm like, I know that you struggle with this and I know that this isn't something that you like, so I'm gonna pay you more.
Yeah.
Right? You get something better and you get something more high value because I'm making you do something that you don't like or that's something that's harder for you. But yeah, like he's getting so much better. Like even last weekend at for our agility lesson, like he's, he'd go around, run his course, and then there is little puppy and Kessa,
yes.
and he would just like cruise by the fence and just look at them, and then he'd come back. Like he wouldn't bark. He was just coming by for a visit, and I was like, good job, buddy. Like that's really good to see, and it's really exciting to see because he's, you can just see this other dog and then this little puppy that he's never seen before.
Yeah.
And he can just cruise by the fence and look at them, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go back and see my mom now. We're gonna run another course.
Yeah, and I know, like, just as far as time, we won't get too much into the agility stuff, but the fact that he can compete, like, I know
Yeah.
when I had Stark, like, that was a big deal for us because,
Because Stark's reactive too.
yes, and, like, having all those other dogs, like, there's literally sometimes, like, 50, 100, whatever dogs. Like, I've been to trials where there's 300 dogs entered.
And there's tons of them.
And it's different because it's an environment where everybody's sort of at least training to a higher level. Like you have some level of like respecting your space and all that stuff. But once he gets into that field, he's off leash, and all that's keeping him and the other dogs apart is a piece of snow fence. And he's built such a trust with you that he's not even looking. Like it's not like he's
buddy?
running at the fence or whatever.
No, like he hasn't done that in years.
He's working with you and he's happy.
Good job.
And I just think it's nice to see, like, as far as the audience listening in, to see like what you can do. Like just because your dog doesn't want to be besties with every dog
You
doesn't
can
mean
still
that.
do anything with him. Like I can do anything with him. Like it's just a matter of, like planning for it and just managing the situation and then just being aware of yourself and your surroundings and what else is going on and what other dogs or people are around. But yeah, he can compete in agility and he's gotten quite a few ribbons in the
Yeah.
last couple of years. I should have brought some of them. You could have put them on his collar today.
I thought about that after, yeah.
Yeah, next time. But right, like he's competed and he's done really well and he's gotten better and he's improved significantly. And all of that happens just it's a lot of work, but it's really enjoyable work. And I feel like it just deepens the bond that we have, and he really loves it and I love working with him. And then when you do that and when you're like, you've gone out there and you've run the course and I'm like, you did so good and there were so many other dogs around and they were doing all kinds of stuff.
He's leaving us. He's
He's done. Come here, buddy. Gus, come. So then I'm going to stick my head in the garbage can. Come
That's
here, buddy.
okay.
Gus, come.
He can hang out if he's
There you
done.
go. Good.
He's been here for about an hour already,
Yeah.
so we're maybe pushing it a little bit.
He's like, I might be tired of this, but that was a good job, buddy. Good listen.
No,
But
I just think it's good.
It's really rewarding. I guess
Yeah.
that's probably the better word, is that it's really rewarding when you see that, or even when we're just walking down the street and I'm like, you saw that dog, you didn't bark at him.
Yeah.
Or you only barked once.
The little wins.
And like the little ones are super important. And it's, you know, you saw that other dog, you only barked once, you didn't bark 15 times, you didn't lunge on your leash, you just barked at him once, and then you looked at me and I gave you some cheese, and then you just focused on me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good job. And so I think those little wins are super important.
What are some of the things that you and Gus have planned for his agility career, his training in general?
So we're gonna keep doing agility. I don't know that he's ever gonna, like, you know, he's probably never going to Worlds ever, but that's okay. He just likes to do it. And I mean, he does prefer running for food. So for those of you that don't know, so when you're in competition, you don't have food with you. He loves to run for cheese. And I mean, if that's all he ever does, then great. But
I mean, he does it without food in
Yeah.
competition. It's just like the training is fun because you get to reward him with whatever
and
you
so
want.
we're gonna keep, competing in the local trials, and then you guys have bullied me into
have bullied
coming
you.
to the Sault Ste. Marie trial next summer. So we're gonna do that, and then I think it's just like a lifelong training process. Like, you know, it doesn't matter how old he is. It's not. I don't even know if it's. I'm trying to think of a good way to explain it. It's not like it's just constantly working with your dog. It's not like the training ever just stops.
Yes.
It's not like, oh, well, you know, they did beginning with basics, and then they did next step, and then they did branching out, and now we're done.
Yeah.
The dog is trained. Because you can always get, you know, new behaviors and new fun tricks. And, you know, like I taught him to roll over a couple months ago because I just thought it would be fun. And
And he probably loved it.
and he does, and it's really funny because his legs are so long, so they just flail
around.
everywhere. So, but it's fun, and right, and it's just like, you know, what else can we teach him?
Yeah.
Because he likes to learn these new things. Like he's so eager to please, and he's like, I just want to. What would you like, Mom?
Yeah.
What would you like me to do? Like, would you like me to sit? Would you like me to spin? What would you like me to do? I'll give you anything. And anybody?
Yeah, he says I'm tired now.
I know.
Well, I think
Said I've
we'll
had a
maybe
long day.
we'll maybe let Gus go have a snooze. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. And yeah, thanks.
See you next time.